Hi, welcome back. This is figure 3 question 2c, and the way we approach this, like before, draw out your boxes so you know where the position of the views are, and always know where your front view is, because it is important that your skeleton or stickman floats above the plan view and looks down from the top. Okay, so when you study this diagram closely, you will find that the plan view offers the most amount of dimensions in which you can complete uh, the geometries, okay, your geometries. And so if you will naturally would like to begin with the plan view for this particular case. There are some cases where the front view presents more dimensions and it's easier for you. So I'm going to start off with the plan view, and the plan view is at the bottom right hand corner. Alright, I'll start off with as usual, my center lines. Oops, too low. Somewhere here. And the first thing that I'll probably draw is the ellipse. Okay, because there is an ellipse that's to be drawn. And the center of the ellipse can be shown. The center of the ellipse is this point here. Okay, and what they show over here is the dotted line, the chain line shows the equivalent. Right, this is actually one continuous ellipse, and the major axis is 120, right, and the minor axis is 50 for the smaller ellipse over here, and for the bigger one it's 80. Okay, it's 80, so it's 40 and 60, right? So what I'll do over on my drawing is I will offset 40 and 60. Offset 40, hang on for a second, I'll offset 40 and then I'll offset 60. 60 is the other number, and I will draw my ellipse. Okay, specify the center and this, right? Okay, I don't need this anymore, so I'll delete this away. And this one I will convert it to my outline. Right, now looking at this ellipse, let's go back to the drawing. Looking at this ellipse, what I drew is the full ellipse over here, and it reflects both the top surface and the bottom, right? Now there is another inner ellipse that is drawn, okay, and the minor axis is 25 and 45. Okay, so we can do 25 and 45. So what I'll do is I'll go back to my drawing. 45 and 25, I'll do an offset of 45, and I'll do another offset of 25. Then I will draw my second ellipse, and I'll select this and put it into an outline. Okay, so what I have is the inner ellipse drawn out. There is an outline here. Okay, let me change to the outline. I'll draw an outline here and draw another outline here. Okay, and what happens actually is that this ellipse, I can start to trim them, or I can delete away this center line first. I can start to trim it, right, because this doesn't exist, right? And lengthen, shorten it, lengthen, shorten it. Okay, actually I don't need this line at all because there is an outline all the way through. Okay, there is an outline all the way through, and I'll show you where it is. It is here and it goes all the way through, right? And I've drawn this. I'll settle this later on. I'm going to draw the cutout of this circle with the slot, right? The circle with the slot. And it's a little confusing, so you zoom in. If you zoom in, you realize that from the center of the ellipse, the center of the circle is 28 millimeters from the center, and the radius of the circle is 15. Okay, so it's 28, and that's what you need to offset. I will offset 28, and I'll offset this line 28, enter, and this is actually a center line. Okay, and the radius is 15 for the circle, so you draw R15 and there is a slot, and the slot width is 12 millimeters, but we all know that because it's in the center, so it's 6 millimeters on each side. So what you can do is you can put it both. Whoops, I think I did it too fast. Yes, 6 millimeters on each side. So I make use of the center line as a construction line. I haven't changed the layers yet. Okay, and then I delete away the unnecessary lines. Now I will trim it. I'll trim the inner arcs. Don't need this, and I don't need this. Right? And that's what I have. Okay? That's what I have. Now some of you are wondering, how am I going to draw the flat that is 38 millimeters in width? So 38 divided by 2, right, it's 19. So what I'll do is I'll offset 19. And I will draw a line, right? And you can tell that this line will be 38 millimeters in length, right? So I'm okay. I delete this away. I don't need this. And if I zoom in, I don't need this portion of the ellipse as well. This I can delete. Alright? Okay. I can shorten my center line somewhere here. Now the next part that I'm going to draw is the base, the rear end base. Okay, and the rear end base starts off somewhere from here, and if you look closely, it starts off 10 millimeters from the center. Okay, where did I get these 10 millimeters? You look at the drawing. I'm zooming out a bit, and you can see it's here. Starts from here, this corner, 10 millimeters. It goes out, right, at an angle, and then there is a radius over here. Okay, and from the center of the ellipse, right, to the base is 80 millimeters. So we can start to draw, or we can start to do our offsets. Okay, our offsets of 80 millimeters. Sorry, let me try that again. Offset of 80, enter. This is one of the offsets on 80 millimeters. And there is another offset of 10 millimeters, 10. Okay, I'll offset the smaller segments so that it intersects, then I can draw out, right? and then let's look at the drawing. Okay, you can tell that from the center line, you can offset by 35, okay, and 35 in the y-axis, and the x-axis you offset it by radius 25, okay, because you see, imagine this radius here that you see is r25. Imagine if you rotate the radius is tangent to the back surface here and the side surface here. That's why you don't see any lines at all. It's tangent. And when you rotate over, so this distance from this edge to the center is 25 millimeters. So it's 25 from the back, and it's 35 from the center. Okay. So 35 from the center. I'm going to draw this, and it is 25 from this. Now, soon I'll come to realize that my lines are all a little short. Okay? And I should have the discipline to just work using construction lines. So that it's less confusing. Right? And this is R25. R25. And I know that this line, I'm going to extend it from here to, yeah, and then there is this line that intersects this surface, and this is going to be tangent to R25. So control right click, you select tangent, then click here. Oops, sorry, let me try that again. Draw a line, control right click, select tangent, right tangent, and I'm gonna snap it to this. Okay, so then I get the tangent arc, and I'm going to trim this arc before I mirror it. Okay, we'll trim. Where's my trim tool? Yes, my trim tool is missing because I clicked on the extend earlier. Yeah, which you should try not to scare yourself unnecessarily. Like, oh, where are my icons? They are missing. They are actually not missing. It's there. It's there. Okay, I'm going to do my mirroring now, and I'm going to mirror this across 1 and 2. And why did I do that for? Okay, wait, let me clean up this line. And I still need this actually. Yes, I definitely need this. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll lengthen it further. Okay, I'll bring it down. And I'll draw the threaded lines first. So the the question that we're going to ask ourselves is, what is this diameter, right? What size was it specified? It's M16, right? It's M16, like our previous question. It's M16. Okay, so the outer diameter, the thin line, should be 16 millimeters in diameter. Okay, and then we can draw the broken segments. So I just do this, and I'll trim it away. Delete, delete, and I'll go to the outline, and the inner diameter is drawn with the outline. The outer diameter, right, the minor diameter or the major diameter is drawn in thin line. Okay, so for this outline, it's 0.8 multiplied by 16, you will get 12.8. Okay, and these two lines are actually your center lines. Let me reduce them a little bit. Okay. Okay. There is something else that's missing as well. There is this web that's at the back of it, right? So let's take a look at it over here. The question, this web here. And this web has a width of 16 millimeters. So what I can do is I can start from the center of this, and then I go out by 8 millimeters and I close the loop on that. Okay, so it's from here. I go out by 8 because 8 times 2 is 16. That's what I have. I can delete away that small line that's unnecessary. And this is it, you know. Yes, okay, I'm ready to do my mirroring. So try to control yourself from mirroring too early, because it's less efficient, right? Have a clear mind of what you're drawing, and then complete what is necessary, and then from there you do your mirror command. Okay, from there you do your mirror command. So that's what I'm doing now. Select, enter, and this line was too short, right? So we will use the extend command and extend this line. Whoops. And we'll be okay. Right? Some students are asking, oh, Mr. Roy, after you mirror, you realize that your threaded hole segment is broken at the top left hand quadrant. Is that okay? Yes, that is okay. Right. So I do a quick check, right? And I ask myself if this is correct. If this is correct, right? I've got all my outlines, and then you ask yourself, do you have any hidden lines? And if you look closely, yes, there is actually a hidden line. If you look at the question, the hidden line comes from beneath this offset 10 mm, because this base, right, would have to be connected in some way to the top part of the ellipse. So if you were to look underneath, if this guy were to crawl underneath this component and look up, he will be able to see that there is a line that runs beneath here. So therefore, you should draw your hidden lines. Comes from this corner all the way to the end. Okay, and that pretty much is your plan view. And what I'm going to do now is, as usual, I'll go to my construction line, then I will type V for vertical, and I will draw on the extreme of the part. Horizontal. The extreme of this part will be tricky. So what you need to do is you need to press Ctrl right click and you snap to tangent. So, oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, I've got a trick for this. It doesn't allow me to snap to the tangent. So what I'll do is Control right click, and then I will say tangent, and then Control right click, I'll go to perpendicular, and I'll snap here. Okay, I know it's not the most ideal, but that's one way of getting around it. Okay, and horizontal is here, enter. Now if you don't want to do that, you can actually calculate it out, right? Because from the center, how much do you actually offset? It's 35 plus 25, and that's actually 60. Okay, so you need not do all those funny acrobatics. I call them acrobatics. And you can still do math, right? So you're not constrained. You can make use of that God-given brain of yours to do some math to find out the required dimension. Okay, so that's my plan view. and I am going to draw the meter line, M-I-T-T-E-R, and that's a 45-degree line. I'll put it to 200, tab, and it's 45 degrees to the negative. And then I will draw my construction line again. This time around is vertical, and that would allow me to determine my end view position. Okay, and the next thing you're going to ask yourself is, how much should I offset from the base? So if you were to look at the drawing in a front view and you're looking at this view, what's the dimension from this height all the way to the top? Okay, and they didn't give us a single number, but however, if you look closely, you will see that from this point to the top is 30 millimeters. From this point to the bottom, it's actually given as 22 millimeters. So it's 30 plus 22, it's 52 millimeters. So these are the numbers that you would need to look at the drawing so that you can make the necessary deduction. Alright. Now that you've gotten that, some of you may not like the giant extensions of some of you may not get used to the infinite line kind of effect, and you want to get rid of it. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's get rid of it. Okay, I'm going to draw across, so I get rid of it at the bottom. Get rid of it at the side, right? Then when you zoom out, you can delete it. That's it. Wow, so nice. Okay, I'm gonna highlight the whole entire plan view. Right click to accept the selection. Then after that, no, you don't have to accept the selection. You just right click to go to draw order, bring everything to the front. Okay. Now we can slowly decide whether we want to. Most likely we'll do the front view. Okay, after we do the plan view, so that we can make use of the projections. And for the front view, I will start to draw from the right. Okay, it goes up 22 millimeters, and then it goes across, stops here, comes down, goes all the way to the end. Okay, that's the first outline. The second outline is the ellipse, and it starts from here, goes all the way to the top, right? And then it goes across, and it stops at the center of the ellipse, which is here. Okay, then it comes down. You can close back here. I need to trim this line away later. Okay, because this goes out and then it goes up. Let's see, what is the thickness of this? What is the thickness of this? Right. It is 10. How did I get 10? Okay. If you look at this, I'm now here, I'm going up, and I have to move up a certain distance, and I don't know what this thickness is, but if you look very carefully, there's one number here which is 30, the second number is 20, so it's 30 minus 20, you get 10. Okay, you bring it down, and so I'm going to go up by 10, and I'm going to go across. this part here is a continuous surface. Okay, so it's a continuous surface. Alright. And is this all of my outline? Oh no, there is a web. So it may be very tempting for you to start drawing your hidden lines because you see it and so you need to kind of hold yourself back. You want to finish up as much as you can all the outlines before you proceed trying to figure out the hidden lines. Okay, so you have the outlines for for this front view settled. Let me do a quick check. Yes, it's all settled, and we'll do the hidden lines now. Okay, and we'll move from left to right, and the first most obvious hidden lines will be coming from this, and it will come from this circle. Okay, apart from the hidden lines, you can also draw the center lines. Okay, so it looks like it's just a hole, but actually it's not. It's got uh, this portion here is another surface, so you can see. And the next thing that we'll look at is this region over here. Right, it steps down and it goes across. How do I know that? Because when you look closely at the drawing, right, from the top surface of the ellipse all the way down to the base on the inner side is 25 millimeters. Okay, so what happens is that it's half the thickness of this protrusion over here. So what I'm going to do is we'll go to my hidden line, and I go down by 5, and I go in, but how deep in do I go? Right, well, we'll stop right here at the inner side of the ellipse. Okay, and then we go up, so that's where it stops. Okay, right, that's just about it for the moment. Then let's draw the hidden lines for the threaded holes, the center holes. So what I'll do is I'll just make use of the construction line to project across. Now type V for vertical. And then I'll draw my hidden lines. Right, I'm not explaining this because I think I've explained it before, right, in the previous question. And where is this? Mirror. Enter. Okay. Okay. Then I give myself a quick check to see if this is completed. Yeah, more or less completed. Now I'm going over to the next view, and the next view is my it's my end view, right? And it's a center line here, so I might as well just draw the center line. Okay, And then you ask yourself, is the end view, which is looking from B, is it symmetrical? And if it is symmetrical, then you're going to be very lazy about it. And what I'm trying to say is that, well, you need not draw every single line. You just draw half of it, and then you mirror the other half across. So you just need to know what is it that you need to mirror. Now, looking from the point view of B, I can draw the base first, then I'll draw the top part, and I will review feature by feature, and I will review feature by feature to see where the hidden lines are. But first, we take care of where the outlines is. Okay, so I'll try to draw this base first. And the way you draw the base is that it starts off from here. Okay, and the base goes up to this height. And it goes across all the way to the end. Alright, and you're gonna ask yourself, hey, somewhere along here there is a break, right? There's a break because of this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, whoops, escape. Sometimes you accidentally click the color, and you're gonna project it up. Okay, so this line is an outline that you want to draw. Okay, so this surface here is not visible in the drawing. It's something which you need to image and visualize by yourself. I'm drawing the rectangle, the base of this at the back. Okay, now the next thing that I'm going to draw is the ellipse. Alright, looking from here, what's the ellipse going to be like? Okay, and where does it start? Right, where does it start? It actually starts from here, the extreme point of it. So to avoid any of the confusion, oops, and I'm going to put horizontal. I'll zoom in here. This is where you'll see the outline. Okay, so where you see the outline, the outline starts from here. Wow, it runs very close to the edge here, so I decide I will not take the risk of trying to do a projection. Okay, so I'll draw the infinite construction line. It's a vertical. You zoom in, that's where it starts. Right, I'll go to my outline and I'll draw. Okay, and when you draw this, it goes to the top, not exactly all the way to the top, goes up from this edge by 10 millimeters. I can project it across. It goes all the way across. Okay, and then there is one more here that goes all the way to the top. Right? That's part of the ellipse. Okay, and there is this opening here actually. So what happens is that it doesn't end here at the bottom, the top part here, or there will be a line that's here. Okay, and this line comes from here, hitting across the meter line, bringing it up over here, and then I can change it to my outline. And I can draw this. Okay, and I take care of all the outlines first. Alright, and I ask myself, there is there is going to be like a square or a rectangle feature over here, and that is because this is visible, right, from the end view. And I'm talking about this surface, the behind. If you're looking from here, it reflect a square, so I need to draw that. And I can take my construction line again, hitting it all the way across, and I'm going to draw the outline. Okay, and it stops here. I'm going to delete this. Seems like quite a lot of stuff, so I'll be just deleting this. Once in a while you want to tidy up your construction lines so that you don't get overly confused. Okay, now at this point of time you would want to consider drawing your hidden lines. Okay, you need to check through your drawing and ask yourself if you have gotten all the outlines ready, right? And once you have the bulk of it, then you approach the hidden lines. And this view is going to be really messy because there are lots of hidden lines. So what we're going to do is we draw the hidden lines, focusing one feature at a time. Okay, so I'll focus on the feature here. Alright, and this is an outline that we see, but this here will be a hidden line. So what will happen is that I'm going to draw the circle, and this part here will be a hidden line. Okay, then the next thing is that from here, right, it goes down 5 millimeters, and it spans all the way across. Okay, and what is this feature that I'm drawing? Because you can't read my mind, yes, I'm actually drawing this down and across. Okay, because this is hidden. Now once I've gotten that, then I move from left to right. We've settled this step, right? This over here should be a hidden line, but it's already reflected by this over here. And then we look at the web. Yes, definitely cannot forget the web. And where is the hidden line for the web? What we can do is, sometimes people prefer to do this, and I have nothing against it, right? The web starts from here, goes all the way up there. And you need to be diligent in cleaning up your construction lines, or the lines that help you draw your components. Okay, now what else is there? I think we are up to the last portion, and that is the hidden lines for the threaded hole. So what I'm going to draw first is the center line. And guess what? I am not going to draw every single I'm not going to repeat drawing more construction lines, okay? Right? I'm not going to project. Well, you can project construction lines across and bring it up. You can, but actually you know that this threaded hole is on this side as well. So what you can do is you can copy, you can choose the threaded holes, and you zoom in and you select a base that is common. Okay, that's common. Now once this is done, you have to check through and make sure that you have got all your center lines. First you have got all your outlines, then you check if you've got all your hidden lines. Now once everything is done, you're ready to do the mirroring, and I will select all, right click, and this is how I will mirror it across. Okay, with that okay, I'm going to delete away this rectangle. With that, this is what the view is: the plan view, front view, and the end view. And after you've done it, you always give yourself a quick check whether it looks like this, like an inverted L. Yeah, so once that's done, you're good to go, and I'll see you the next time around for the next question. Thank you very much for your attention.